of Hagan.
Good evening. What a beautiful evening we have tonight to remember those who are fallen in our name and our protection for freedom. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today because I think I couldn't help but reflect 14 years ago, I was sitting in the classroom when all my teachers were afraid and scurrying through the classroom, scurrying through the hallways. And it seems like today, as 14 years has passed, this issue is still as raw as the day that it occurred. And although our hearts have healed, there are many that were lost. And I think about 1,600 spouses that will never come home and that are remembered today. And I think about the brave men and women who laid down their lives in service. Nearly 400 firefighters who armed up and suited up to serve. And I think as civilians, there are a few days a year where we really draw our attention directly to the enormity of war and the enormity of terrorism and what it actually can mean to our nation. And that is the only day in my recollection, in my history of my life, that I could actually see the fear and what it actually means to be under fire by evil. And I think how blessed we are as a nation that we had men and women who, in the face of evil, stood and gathered their hearts and collected themselves to go and serve. And I remember my brother was a young firefighter at the time, just about 22 years old, working on his fire academy career. And I think about all the challenges that these men and women face on a regular basis. And even today, as our police are facing within our nation a lot of disrespect and a lot of misunderstanding for the work that they do to protect us, that September 11th should serve as a date and a reminder of all of the blessings that we have as a nation, that each and every one of us today here has life, that we're blessed to come together as a community to remember those who lost theirs, to the ultimate enemy, the ultimate evil that's willing to come against us as a free nation and try to take away what we have. So I think it's a reminder every day as a legislator, following in the footsteps of somebody before me. Oftentimes we want to put people into categories, and I'm a second-generation legislator, so people automatically assume, well, she's a no-good politician, just like her father was. And the truth be told, we're all people doing jobs. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. And I remember the day that September 11th occurred, my father was on his way to serve at the State House, where I serve today, 2 floors above his office. And he and the state fire marshal actually gathered around a 8x10 non-color TV to see what was occurring in his office on floor 11 of the Rife Center. And as they looked at that TV and they saw the second plane strike that building, they knew that we were under acts of terrorism. And the Speaker of the House was quickly and collectively calling each member of the Ohio House of Representatives and letting them know that they needed to go home to their districts and to their families. And I remember the fear in my mother's eyes when she came to the school, and not every parent was coming to the school, not every parent knew the magnitude of what was going on, and not every child knew what was happening. I remember thinking my mother was crazy. How could she come and pull me from the classroom and embarrass me that way? And as I look back, and as I'm carrying my first child, I can't imagine the fear of a mother. I can't imagine the fear of a woman whose child's in a public building, whose husband is in a public building serving. And I just know that the people that go and they serve for us deserve everything that we have to give. I apologize for sending